Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurion's review of the punk rock band of Wargame Review Institutions. In our last episode, the Diva asked Davus and his party to go forth and go to a dungeon. She gave him a map for it, and inside will be a Spectator, which is a lesser beholder that has been sending out spies to spy on her land, so she wants the party to take him out. They traveled from the temple to here, and they didn't encounter anything on the way, so they've come to the entrance to the dungeon right there, and they're going to go inside. Our party has entered the dungeon, and it's pretty humid and kind of a musty smell down there, but after they get down the staircase, first thing they see is a room with some supplies in it. So Davus walks in there and starts examining the supplies, and the barrel's filled with grain. However, both barrels actually are filled with grain. However, the box is filled with some strange weapons. They're swords, but he seems to think that they might be Easterner swords, but there's nothing that he would carry. So he asks JL if RB if they want anything, and they say JL says he's good with his special shovel, and RB likes his pitchfork. So they're going to continue on in the dungeon. They decide to move forward and examine this statue over here. Davus is able to read the inscription on the statue. Essentially, it's saying this was a female warrior who worked for the Diva, and she died in battle, so it looks like this tomb is her burial place. Before they start moving, they start hearing some weird voice and like celestial. Davus can make it out, and it sounds like someone saying, "Please help me." But he feels something might be off, so he does a wisdom check. And he fails his wisdom check. As far as he knows, those really are cries of someone needing help. So they're going to move along. It sounds like cries are coming from a room over here. So they look in the room, and they get surprised because they see two little heads moving here. So the heads are going to roll to see if they get surprise on them. That one does not. Neither of them gets surprise. The party can tell that these are some kind of aberration, so they know they're evil. The small heads have like 4 tentacles coming off them and stuff. Looks almost like a miniature beholder head. So the initiative order is JL, then Maggie, then Davus, then RB, and then head number 1 and head number 2. So JL decides to move in here to combat this one. He swings a shovel and gets a crit. So it does a total of 10 damage to that one. Next one up is Maggie. She runs over here and attacks this one. Alright, she rolls to attack and misses. And then the next person up is Davus. So he moves over here. He can't really get in there. And then RB comes up, but RB's got some reach, so he's going to try and attack with his pitchfork. He's going to move like right here so he can stick it through. So he gets a hit. So that does 6 damage, and then he's going to do a kick, and the kick misses, so that one's hanging on by a thread. So now the gazers will go. That's the name of this. These are from Volo's Guide to Monsters. That's what a gazer looks like. Alright, so gazer number 1. He's going to roll to see what kind of eye ray he can shoot. He actually is going to shoot 2 of them. So he rolls a 2 and a 3. So he's going to shoot a fear ray at JL. And JL must succeed on a DC 12 wisdom save. He succeeds. And then the frost ray he's doing against him too. So we've got to take a dexterity save, and he fails. And he takes 3d6 cold damage. 5, 11, 14 damage to JL. Alright, so the next Gazer is going to go now, and he's going to see which eye stalks he can use, or eye rays. So he gets a 3, which is a Frost Ray, and a 1, which is a Dazing Ray. Alright, so he's going to do the Dazing Ray on Maggie. Alright, so she passes and she's not charmed. And then he does the Frost Ray against her. Alright, she passed her dexterity check, so she avoided the Frost Ray. So now JL is up. He's attacking the one in front of him. That's a hit. And it does a total of 6 damage, so this Gazer is destroyed. Then Maggie goes, and she tries biting the Gazer in front of her, and misses. And then Davus will go. He can't get in there, do anything, but RB here has got enough reach to attack. See if that's a hit. He rolled a 10. He's got a +4 to his attack, so that's just barely enough to hit. So it's going to do D8 plus 2 damage. So it does 3 damage to the Gazer. And now he attacks with his... Well, he can't do his kick because he's 10 feet away. Alright, so now the Gazer is up. Rolls to see which eye stalks he can use. He can use number 4, which is a Telekinesis Ray. And he can also use a 3, which is a Frost Ray. So let's roll to see which one he attacks with the Frost Ray. Attacks Maggie with the Frost Ray. And she is hit. So she takes 1, 7, 12 damage. Alright, so now the Telekinesis Ray he's going to use on her. And she succeeds on her savings throw, so she's not moved away. Alright, so now RB is up, and he's going to move in here far enough where... Move behind this here. And he gets advantage on the Gazer. He does get a hit. Does a total of 6 damage. Alright, now Maggie is up. She's got advantage. She missed. And then RB will move over here. And he gets a hit. And does 6 damage. The thing's barely alive. And now he does his kick. And the kick hits and does 4 damage. It's only got 1 life left. Alright, so now Davus is up and he moves in here. And he attacks with his great sword. And that's a hit. And the great sword does 7 damage, so this Gazer is destroyed. They start examining the room. And they see a bunch of celestial books there. They don't see anything that they think they can use, though. But they do find 100 gold in the room and this fancy-dancy telescope, and they don't even know what it is. They think it's some kind of ornament. So they're going to continue on through the dungeon. So they start moving over here. And RB volunteers to go over here and listen by the door and look under it and stuff. And he's going to roll a perception check. He doesn't notice anything amiss, and there doesn't seem to be a lock in the door. So he's going to try and open it. He tries to open it, but it won't open, so moves out of the way. And Davus and JL are going to try and bash it open. Davus gets a hit and does 11 damage to it. Now JL is going to go. He gets a hit and does 5 damage to it. It's in pretty bad shape, so they're going to do one more try of knocking it down. Davus misses. JL hits. and does 6 more damage. So the door's been knocked over. So they walk in there, and it's obviously some kind of kitchen area, but it looks like no one's eaten in there in years. So they look around and there's nothing of any value in there. So they get ready to move into this area over here. They don't see anything or hear anything up ahead, so they foolishly just stumble ahead. And we're going to roll to see if they were surprised to see the Spectator. Actually, we're going to roll to see if the Spectator is surprised. He is not surprised, so then we'll roll to see if they are. JL is surprised, so the Spectator is going to fire 2 eye rays at him. He rolls a 2. And a 4. The 2 is a paralyzing ray, and the 4 is a wounding ray. So JL has to roll first to see if he's going to get hit by the wounding ray. He does get hit by a wounding ray. So he takes 3d10 damage. 7, 8. So that's 17, I believe he's down. Yeah, he's down for the count. Lay him in the bed there. Alright, so we're going to start with the order now, which is Davus, then RB, then Maggie, and then the Spectator. So Davus runs in here. Actually moves around and goes onto the bed there. And he's going to attack with his great sword. Great sword hits. And does 11 damage to the Spectator. So he's going to take his action surge to do 1 more attack. And that's a crit. So it does 4, 7, does 10 more damage. Now RB will go. And he gets a hit. And does 7 damage. And now Maggie will go, tries to filter in there. And she gets a hit. So it does 8 damage to him. And now it's his turn. Spectator, let's see who he's going to attack first. He's going to attack Maggie, who's already in bad shape. So let's see which eye stock or rays he's going to use. Number 4 and 2 of number 4, and number 4 is a wounding ray. So the first one, she has to take a save to see if she gets hit. She saves versus that one, but she takes half damage. So that's 3d10 necrotic damage. 12. 19. So I believe she's down. Yeah, she's down. Alright, so Davus is up now. And he misses, so now it's RB. And RB misses. So now the Spectator goes and rolls to see which eye stocks he uses. Number 3 and number 2. Fear Ray and a Paralyzing Ray on RB. So here's the Paralyzing Ray. RB saves. And now the Fear Ray. He saves on that one too, so he got lucky. Alright, now Davus is up. Gets a 15, which is enough to hit. And does 4 damage and kills the Spectator. Actually, I forgot to do some death saves here. So let's... I don't have any healing potions, or none of these guys do. So he needs to take, he forgot to do his first one there, so he passed his first one, passed his second one, and let's see if he'll pass his third one. Fails the third one. Fails the fourth, so he's 2 and 2. This one will determine if he lives. So he gets a 12, so he's stabilized at 1 hit point. And now for Maggie, let's see what happens to Maggie. First one's pass, second one's pass, third one's fail, fourth one's fail. This will determine whether she lives or dies. And that was an 11, so she lived. Sorry, AJ, they all survived. Decide to look around the room, and they find some assorted gold, but they also find a map. The back of the map has a note, and it's written to the Spectator by some spy, they believe. And it basically says this is a map of where the troublemakers have been, and this is a map of the world Utopia, and it happens to have all the places they've been, like the archaic dungeon, the graveyard, and down here the portal. So they're wondering if the troublemakers the spy is referring to as them, because this is a map of all the places they were at before they went through the portal and went to Farain. Anyhow, they're going to head back to the Diva now and get their reward and find out what she wants them to do next. Here ends this episode. I'll continue with it in a few weeks. Thanks for watching and have a good evening.